Welcome to More Action, the podcast for entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals. I'm your host, Shelly Bryan, and together we have candid conversations with industry leaders to uncover valuable wisdom and lessons learned. My hope is you use these lessons to intentionally take more action in business and life. I hope you share and enjoy. Welcome back to the show. Today, I am diving into the topic of self-leadership. What is it? Why is it crucial? And how you can cultivate it. And here's the thing is, as I say leadership, if you're like, well, I don't hold a leadership position, I'm going to challenge you right off the bat thinking that you don't, because we are all silent leaders to those around us. And the most important person is ourselves. And so even if you aren't holding a leadership position, I want you to focus in on that word that I said before, which is self-leadership. And, this topic is, as you know, there's something probably going on in my life right now where I wanted to bring this up. And it's here, I wanted to have this episode today, as much as it is to help you, it is to help me too. See, I felt this lack of self-leadership in a few areas of my life. And I've been, looking to course correct. I think it's we all go through those seasons of ups and downs. Yet I could tell what was kind of deterring me and taking me off course was summer. We're in that summer full swing, the lull, kids doing activities. We didn't sign our kids up for summer camp this year. We wanted to try something different because they have their sports. We have some travel. And I can feel that it's pulling me away from a little bit of my self-leadership in deadlines when it comes to our business and activities that we want to do for our teams. And again, in growing the business. And so that leadership, as far as it comes to health, I'm good there. I've been very good at maintaining my self-leadership there. But when it comes to the business and the kids are off and I want to spend time with them, I've been deterring away and haven't been doing as good a job as I should be, or I could be. I hate the word should, as I could be. And so I wanted to course correct. So that's what this episode is all about. So if you're feeling that kind of summer lull, this one is for you. Now, as we kind of get in, here on the show, if you're new, welcome in. I invite you to go back. There's some great episodes. They're all great, but you'll see which ones get shared a lot. But you can see, I always love to share not only education, but actionable items that you can do immediately for yourself and your business and or those around you if you're leading or your family. So this episode is going to be action-packed with things that you can take action on or reflect on right away. And that includes a couple book recommendations at the end. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you subscribe, download. If you are listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, do not lose this one, or go and hit subscribe over on YouTube. I'm really enjoying the community at YouTube. It's a little bit different than typical socials, and I'm having a lot of fun over there. So, okay, let's define self-leadership first. And it's really the practice of intentionally, I love that word, intentionally influencing your thinking, feelings, and behaviors to achieve your objectives. So this is all about you. This episode is all about you. Own it. And it's about intentionally influencing the things that you do, right? We're all here about more action. Now we're going to start making intentional choices when it comes to those actions. Now, the importance of self-leadership, why should you care, is that studies show that self-leadership is linked to increased job satisfaction, better performance, and improved well-being. If you didn't just in your head be yeah, I could definitely have better job satisfaction. That includes being the leader if you're a business owner or entrepreneur. Better performance. Hell yeah. I am always looking for ways that I can increase my performance, not only to myself, but how it affects those around me, and then improved well-being. Now, there was also, I'm just giving you some deep research here because this is a very important topic. and that there was a study published in the Journal of Occupational and Organizational Psychology, and it found that self-leadership practices are associated with 15% increase in productivity and a 25% increase in personal effectiveness. Now, any way that I can increase those two things, I am all about it. And so I dove in and wanted to understand and really be able to communicate to you areas that we can build our self leadership. Now, of course, everything I talk about here, it's interchangeable to health and business, relationships. Me, like I shared in the beginning, I noticed that my self leadership in my business activities was just kind of on that summer lull, and I wanted to course correct and bring it back. And so, the first actionable item that you can take away from this is that you can start with self awareness. I noticed it. Did you guys? I'm owning it. It's my responsibility. And so, one thing that you can do is spend a few minutes each day, end of the day. I typically do it at the end of the day because I want to be like, where were my thoughts? Where was I most productive? Where did I need to kind of refocus or redirect my efforts? And that's how I came to the conclusion of this topic of self leadership, because I spent that time reflecting. Now, there's a few strategies that you can use to increase or build up your self leadership. And some of these are going to sound like, yeah, Shelly, duh. But here's the thing is that you've probably never thought about it for your self leadership. Maybe leadership in others, right? Acting as a leader to others, whether that be your organization, your team, and or your family. But now I'm talking about it to you. And so goal setting and planning is number one. Make sure that you are setting those actionable goals, and they need to be big enough to make a difference. If your goals are like, yeah, I can do this. Okay, great. Chris and I, when it comes to our business, we have a floor goal. We have an annual floor goal, and we have an F yeah goal. F yeah goal is like, if we blow it out of the park, here is our F yeah, we will high five F yeah goal. But we also have our floor goal, which is still a stretch for us. Now, one of the things that I always used to do back in my corporate days that I can't believe I'm saying out here now as an entrepreneur is using SMART goals. So SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. I would say specific and time bound, kind of the bookends of the word SMART, are the most important things. If there is no time set to it, it's going to be hard to make sure that you are taking the right activities or taking the right actions to get to that goal. Now, another strategy is self-motivation techniques, right? Some of you might be affirmation guys and gals. And listen, more power to you. That's not me. What I love is visualization. Now, here's the key. Neither one is wrong and neither one is right. It's what works best for you. So self-motivation techniques is like, how are you going to turn it around and stay motivated and keep you going on the times that you kind of fall off, right? You fall off whatever your goal is. Me, visualization. I use this when I was competing with my horses. I use this when I was at the gym. And now I am using visualization. What will it look like? How will I feel? What will I experience if we reach our F yeah goal that we have set as a company? That is something that is huge when it comes to motivation. And if you've never tried visualization, I absolutely encourage you to give it a try. Start on something small. Think about the feelings. I have harnessed this skill so much now that when I am visualizing like my perfect ride on my horse when I'm competing, I can actually start sweating and feeling the muscles in my body strengthen and tighten because of different things that I know are going on as I'm riding. Sounds crazy. Give it a try. It is incredible, the power of visualization. But I know that affirmations are highly, highly effective for many people. Make sure that you have those affirmations in a visual site and you repeat them often. Now, the last strategy for building up your self-leadership is time management. So prioritize your tasks, right? Don't just come in at your desk and be like, all right, let's just get to work. Now I want to make sure that I maximize my time so I can go spend the bulk of my time with my kids. So I'm using techniques, I'm learning about different time management, I'm trying different things to see what works for me. The Eisenhower matrix is a new one for me. I might actually do an entire episode on this, but it's a time management tool that helps you prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance, right? This all came from Dwight Eisenhower. He has a famous quote. I'm not going to read it because I'm going to butcher it. But basically, there is not a correlation between the two. If it's urgent, it's typically not that important. But if it's important, it's typically not that urgent. And so this Eisenhower matrix helps you prioritize all of your tasks. And then make sure that you break them into manageable chunks. I know that you're like me, high achievers. We're like, let's go, let's sit down, let's get it all done all at once. Not the best tactic and can help, you can burn out, you can feel overwhelmed. Chunk it down, spend the time, look at your schedule and block it out using the Eisenhower matrix or another time management tool. These are all ways, these three strategies, right? Goal setting, planning, self-motivation, as well as time management, all will help you build your self-leadership. Now, one thing that you can do right now is set that specific goal that you want to achieve this week. Write it down, plan the steps, and review your progress daily. Make sure that you are taking action every single day. It doesn't have to be the perfect, right, wrong action, whatever. Just take action and know that you are going to get something, whether it's a lesson or your desired result from your actions. That is enough to keep you moving forward. Now, here's a couple challenges, right? Because I just gave you like, all right, here's how you can build it up. Sounds simple. Sure, Shelly. But there's also some challenges. Anytime you're trying something new, anytime you're trying to level up or become some new version of yourself or grow your skills in your business and or career, of course, there's going to be challenges. Life is not easy. So let's talk about 3 of those challenges. And then I'm going to kind of give you some ways to navigate through them. And then don't forget, stay here till the end because I'm going to have a couple books for you and just kind of recap it all because I want this to be actionable oriented for you. And if we aren't, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do something on social media. So if we aren't connected on LinkedIn or Instagram, please connect with me there. I would love to connect with more like-minded individuals. I know that we are all out there doing great things and there is enough in the world for all of us. We just got to go get it and we got to stay together and make sure that we're lifting each other up. Okay, let's talk about those challenges when it comes to self-leadership, right? It's all about you. I love this episode because it's all about you. Challenge number 1 that's going to come up, procrastination. Yes. Okay. So you want to figure out procrastination. We all do it in some form or another. Me, I will share right now. I am really bad at this. And you know why? Is that I am a perfectionist. I know a lot of high achievers are, is that perfectionism will actually turn into procrastination. So when it comes to procrastination, you want to understand why you do it. What are the reasons you are procrastinating? You got to be really honest with yourself. Now, this isn't like, oh, I'm a horrible person because I procrastinate. Everybody does it. Why is it that I'm procrastinating? Perfectionism. The way that I combat perfectionism, delegation. Because if I can have someone else do it for me and it doesn't it's the end result that I want. So I delegate out the things that I am spending too much time trying to perfect. And when someone else does it, I love what they do. I can make tiny little suggestions or corrections and then go. I'm not stuck in the trenches trying to make it perfection. Now, another one when it comes to procrastination is distractions, right? I talked about my whole self-leadership right now in our business and what we want to do. My distraction right now is just, it's summer. I want to be with my kids. I want to hang out. We're traveling. There are so many things. We have sports. We have all these different things going on, just distractions. You know what else is a distraction? Social media. So I know that social media can be one of my distractions. So what I do is I'll set my phone in the other room so I can't even have access to it. Another procrastination challenge can be you have like too much to do. I don't know about you, but this has definitely hit me. I know it's hit Chris. Sometimes we've both worked on this together, is that we hit like so much to do. You're like, screw it, I'm not going to do anything. So we don't let that happen. But this all comes with like identifying why you procrastinate. Now, there are certain tools that you can use to stay focused, like the Pomodoro technique, and it aims to improve focus and productivity by breaking it down into manageable intervals, like 25 minutes in length. I also heard this, I believe it was either Jim Quick or Brendan Burchard talking about this, like go hard for like 25 or 45 minutes and then take a break. Get up, walk away from your desk, and then come back and have that transition onto your next task. So procrastination was that first challenge. And the main thing is identifying it and then moving through it. Another challenge that can come up is self-doubt. Self-doubt comes up for everybody. I don't care if you are the biggest, craziest Instagram influencer, or you're like the business owner with $100 million business. Self-doubt was there sometime along the way, if it's not still present with them. So when it comes to self-doubt, I always look for feedback and support from mentors, peers, friends. Set up feedback loops. This is something that I do. Set up feedback loops that can either be with yourself or it can be with others. So by feedback loop is when you take activity, what is the result? What is the feedback that you get? Make sure that that feedback loop is very short so that you can make adjustments and or keep doing the things if you're getting the feedback that you want. Don't do, it's like don't start and stop. Make adjustments. When it's working, understand that, get that feedback loop and keep going. Self-doubt is going to be there. Don't let it stop you from taking actions. Get those around you to support you. Make sure you set up those feedback loops. Now, the third challenge could be maintaining motivation. Now, for me, motivation is all about finding your why, understanding the deeper reason behind your goals. And here's where I mentioned this earlier, but your motivation, your goals, it must be big enough to affect your actions. Small goals, small motivation, right? I told you, Chris and I have an yeah goal and we have our floor goal. Floor goal is bare minimum what we will achieve, but our yeah goal is blowing it. Like the floor goal is definitely making us take action, but we want to hit this yeah goal because if we do that, there are other opportunities that present itself. And so that big yeah goal is definitely keeping us focused on our why and our actions that we take every single day. And what another thing with motivation, it kind of comes back to that distraction that I spoke about earlier when it came to procrastination, is when you have, your motivation and whatever it is that is your distraction can also be your reward. So if you set little goals, like little actionable goals, so I'm not talking about kind of the big goal to keep you motivated, your big why, but if you're like, hey, I'm going to do these 3 things today that are major needle movers in my business. Once I get these 3 things done, it doesn't matter whether it's 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. After that, I get those 3 things done, I get to go spend time with my kids. That is the distraction that I want to be able to enjoy. That is the dopamine hit. So I am going to make sure that I enjoy the things and the fruits of my labor. So those 3 challenges, I hope I provided some, clarity on how to move through that. But those challenges, procrastination, self-doubt, and maintaining motivation. Now, as we kind of close up here, I wanted to, just summarize real quick everything, but I also want to challenge you to face your self-leadership. What I mean by that is take the time, be real honest with yourself. No one else is watching, just you. Be real honest. Where have you maybe let down in your self-leadership? Is it in your business like me? Or perhaps is it in your health and you were like, whatever, I'm just going to kind of move on and move through it and enjoy my summer. You can still enjoy your summer and be healthy. I'm going to challenge you that. Just like we can still enjoy our summer and still kick ass in our business too. So I want you to think about and understand where your self-leadership might be faltering and what is it that you can do to build it back up while still being aware of the challenges. So the 3 strategies to build it back up again, just to tie it in a bow here, was setting those goals and planning, self-motivation techniques. I talked about visualization, and then time management. That's how you can course correct and build up that self-leadership in the area that you need to. And then just be aware, right? Those challenges are going to creep in there. Procrastination, self-doubt, and you want to make sure that you maintain that motivation. Now, if I can do this, I know that you can too. I am no different than you guys. I promise. It is this self-reflection and then taking action. That's why the show is called More Action. That is the game changer for everything. And so here I wanted to leave you with 3 books. If you are a reader like me, I love reading and being able to apply it right away. And I don't just read anything, I'm very selective. So these books I have read more than once, and these have helped me in other areas of my life when it came to self-leadership. And so I wanted to share them with you. And you know what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to put these in the show notes to make sure that you guys can have access to these, because I highly, highly recommend them. But the first one is The Infinite Game with Simon Sinek. Love this book, talking about finite versus infinite games or mindset. It is so great. Traction by Gino Wickman. This is, if you need specific strategy, step by step, with charts and exactly what to do, instead of trying to figure it out on your own, read Traction. Be ready to get hit in the face from Gino. It is a great book. And then one that actually came, it's a Harvard Business Review. It's a short book. This is Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. This you could read in like a quick trip. You could read quick thing in the morning, and in fact, maybe read it a few mornings, because it is going to challenge some preconceived notions that you've had on yourself. It did for me, let me tell you. Woo! But it's a great one. So those 3 books I highly recommend. And I think together, we can turn around kind of that summer lull to make sure that we finish our year strong, right? Finishing the year strong doesn't start in Q4. It starts right now. And so if you are in this summer lull, welcome, I'm here too, but let's own it. Let's take responsibility of our self-leadership and turn around, course correct the ship to where we want to go and where we see ourselves at our F goals at the end of the year. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you love this, you know the drill. Please share it out on social media and tag me in it. I will absolutely share it with my audience as well. And I can't wait to see you on the next show.